Well, I've got a little bit of progress on this. I just went ahead and double checked my points and ignition to make sure that they were good. I've also rewired it all with newer wires so that way it's nice and neat and tidy. Because beforehand it was kind of pretty piss poor wiring. And I mean, right now it's poor because I have it temporarily connected to this battery and grounded via these vice grips, just because I don't have any like solid metal bodies to ground to. I don't really want to mount this solenoid to this 10. Oops, sorry, full in my hand. To this 10 until I know that it's a solid motor. So I'm gonna get you set up in a stand and we're gonna go check and verify spark. Actually, can I do that like this, one-handed? Let's see if I can do this one-handed. You know, if someone else was here to help me, this would be a lot easier. Okay, what happened? Oh, I lost power. Okay. Sorry, this wire or this clamp came off. Take 2 on this attempt. Let's see. Oh, hey! I guess I got it going. Sparky. Take that. So now let's bolt it up to the, or not bolt it, but we'll clamp it up to this bench and feed it some fuel and go from there. So let me get you set up and stand and set video for a video and clamp down, and we'll dump some fuel in the spark and then see what happens. All right, and just to prove, I am checking it for oil. We do have oil in it. It is low, but it's better than no oil. I'm gonna put this back. Come on, throw it in. Here we go. And I got a little bit 2-stroke oil, or 2-stroke fuel, right here. Right here. Just in a little container. I'm missing 2 head bolts. So I really don't know how well this is gonna go. Missing 2 head bolts, and I also am fairly certain it's gonna be louder than heck. So we're gonna watch our ears, and that's a live motor. We'll take this off, carburetor off now, and get it into the ultrasonic cleaner that I've been warming up for the last, I don't know, hour. And we will see if we can get it to run for a good amount of time. And I'll probably button up the 10s and try to go hunt down a couple of these head bolts because I would like to make it have good compression and not blow out my gasket. So yeah, let me get a couple things set up and move some things out of the way because I don't need any of this power battery or anything like that associated with it now because I know it will run. So I'll get everything tidied up and squared away, and then we will go and pursue the carburation time. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready. So hold on and I'll bring you back. Well, I got started on it, taking this apart. Probably should have waited to get you guys involved. But essentially all I did was break loose this 1 bolt. And I'm probably gonna have to figure out a way. I guess we'll just do it. Whoa! Sorry, I kicked you. There's 2 Phillips head screws. I'm wondering. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Because with this exhaust manifold in place, there is absolutely no way of getting a wrench on this nut on this side, so. Oh no. Don't strip out on me, buddy. Oop. I guess you gotta work these out at a time and sync because they're captive to the nuts on the back side. Whoop, there it is. All right, for future reference, ow, fuck. There's a spring. It goes in the little eyelet that is closest to where the spring is, and then the metal rod. So, oop, yeah. So metal rod goes there. Spring goes in that one. I'm doing that for my memory because I need to remember where this stuff goes because, well, I don't have a manual for this. Yeah, that would be why. Maybe why that started backing out. There's a flathead holding it on. I'm gonna go ahead and retighten this because I don't want to forget it. Okay. Carburetor off. Motor can pretty much sit as it is. Out of the way. Let me get a little shop rag and lay it out to capture the parts from the carburetor. All right, let me get you set up where you have a better view of this. Well, let me redo this again. I tore it all apart and thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it again. That's the needle, which sits right in that little hole right there. Basically, it's an on-demand valve. So as your fuel goes down, your float lowers, and then as it increases from filling in, it shuts off. Pretty simple little design. I'm going to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner, that whole thing, to get it clean. This is your main jet assembly. I'm going to actually leave that paper washer off of it. There's a little rod that adjusts the amount of fuel going through the orifice. And then you have your idle jet, which is very similar to your main jet, except just controls your idle circuit. And then you have your throttle screw, or your idle control screw, which just basically holds it off slightly so it can get air through the carburetor. We're gonna put all these away into the, put all of that away into the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we're going to let the ultrasonic cleaner go at it. This was also the gasket for the fuel bowl. You can just see it just falls right apart, and that's just due to age. It happens. So let's put this in there and give it about 30 minutes and then come back and take a look at how clean it is. All right, so I'm looking through my stash. I found this. I've already swapped over the adapter to make the carburetor sit flush or flat on this engine, and I put it together roughly in there. You should be able to see the needle and seat operating. So if I blow into the fuel inlet in this position, air shouldn't come out. We flip it, so that's why I just blew it, or just how I put air into it. If I now put air into it like this, it's open, nice and open. So now I can put it back all the way together and tighten everything up, because this is a brand new carburetor I had ordered for a separate project that I was working on. And And I saw it and I was like, ooh, hey, that is like brand new and identical. The only difference is this one has a little like primer, little aspect or a little port where it basically will you can push positive pressure into this and it'll force fuel up through the needle and seat, and then it'll force its way out. So it's a nicer carburetor to begin with. And then so it would be the furthest most point, because it's got a different valve. What do you want? Not valve. Does it open the wrong direction? No, it opens the same direction. The problem with doing jerry-rig setups is the governor may not be set right now. Which, I don't really care, because this is going to be governor may even be taken out of play due to me not even wanting to use a governor for this motor. And you're technically supposed to reuse not reuse gaskets, but it's what I've got. Oh no. Well, there's another flaw with this. I cannot, for the life of me, tighten these bolts. Now, dang it! That is a bummer. Maybe can I get it with a flathead? No. We'll just finish the cleaning up and then transfer the parts over to the new carb. Because it is already looking much, much better. Brake clean. Oof. Shoot. I know I'm not in your view. God, no one reminds me. Partially, I don't want to get this brake cleaner on my camera, so I got to be cautious with it. I'm squirting it into to try to get it to come out of the idle circuit, because I think that's where it's gonna fight us now. Okay, I'm pretty confident that that's going to function now. So, I can take the other parts out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Speaking of which, what made me go look for a new carb was the fact that this float bowl has water in it now, which is lovely, because that means that it was not, oh man, that cleaned up good. That's like brand new. That float bowl has water in it, which means it's not going to actually do its job and float. So the whole purpose of the float is defeated because there's a hole in it. So I have to replace it with the new one in this. So I have to take this one apart anyway, and that's what started me on that whole looking for a new float. And then I ended up with this carburetor because I was like, this is identical. But turns out there's little notches on this that allow like where my thumb is, that allow for you to tighten the bolts in this assembly. So we'll put this back together the way it was and just see how it goes. I'm hoping that it just goes right back together. And it will fire right back up because it's getting late and I got work I gotta get ready for again tomorrow. So hopefully this will go right back together and I can test fire it and then it'll just work. I don't have high hopes on that because everything seems to always fight me. Kind of like how I was trying to find a nice brand new carburetor for this thing and it was like, nope, you want the old crappy piece. That's what I want. Nice and tight. Yeah, keep your mind clean. That's not what I meant. Got a brand new float. Just happens to work with the exact same float bowl setup right here. So that makes my life easy. I don't have to worry about buying a new part. I can just go and take off my shelf what I already have. I'm gonna use the old pen because it fits better. Right, yeah, that fits there. Here's 1 and 2. And centered. Once again, I'm going to blow into it like this. I got a little leak by. Yeah, vinegar. Never the best taste. But I'm not crazy concerned about it because this is just gonna be a simple, just make it run kind of video, and I'll go back in there. I don't have any needle nose or any cleaning supplies to go back through and basically polish the orifice where the needle and seat meet to create a good clean surface and keep it from which needle goes there? Which one is it? It's this one. Go ahead and put this in there. Screw it down all the way. My baseline setting is screw it all the way in and then back it out about 2.5 turns. 1.5, 2, 2.5. That usually gets me in a good set point for it. And then we have the throttle or idle screw. And I'll do the similar 1.5, 1.5, and we'll do 1.5 on that because it's usually less than the main. And then we have the idle screw, which I'll usually look at it and eyeball it and wait for it to hit the throttle. I'll just give it a little extra turns. That way it has the best possibility of going full. Well, getting started, I should say. And it was that one. And then we want Phillips head. Phillips head. Man, they really did not design this to be serviceable pretty easily. You have to like walk this carburetor into position. But you're not even looking at me. Hold on. Look. There we go. Let's angle you over. And focus. Yeah, you have to like walk it in position before it will tighten up. There's tight. And tight. This is a JIS number 3 Phillips head. It's got more of a blunt head. Like, come on, camera, focus. You can see the difference. So the right is a normal Phillips 2. The left is a JIS 3, which is like a Japanese industrial standard, I think, is what it stands for. It's just the go-to version of it. I am so confident in our work that I'm going to put the air filter cover back on. That's how confident I am with our work here. Partially because I really think this motor wants to work and there's an electric start, so I can crank and crank and crank on it and not have to wear out. That's the air filter, which is not in the best shape, but it works for this vehicle, or this motor, I should say, because it's not on a vehicle yet. I do have some liquid courage we can use if it doesn't really want to pop off right away, because we can make this thing run for sure. Question is though, can I do it safely without knocking the motor off of my workbench, or to a point where it will, well, fall apart? Because I really don't want to break this motor, because I just put all this effort into rewiring it, making it all pretty, making it all nice. We're gonna tighten this down before I forget. Oop. Alright, I'm gonna have to move it. You're in the way of my toolbox. Alright, I got everything set up, I think. I had a little wire come loose from that was there beforehand. So hopefully we have everything still. I've pre-filled it a little bit, just a little bit in that fuel line, just to where it stopped taking fuel. I don't want it to run long because I'm in an enclosed garage. But I do want to, and I want to call it good for tonight, but I do want to let it run for a second, just to really hear it run and see how it goes. So for right now, that's choke off, that's choke all the way on. Woo! That's pretty good. So adjust the throttle up just a little bit. Give it a little more choke. No, it's probably out of fuel now. Nice. I'll take that. Let's see, how does this get adjusted? Oh, it's bound up. Whatever. it is gonna be perfect, I feel like. Because I've got, there we go. All right, one more little try in a second. Let me change your battery because I think you're pretty much dead. So give me a second to change the battery, refuel, and get it set up. All right, I don't have much battery left. I didn't actually have a spare battery out here, so I'm just gonna quickly go after this. Fueled up, ignition still on, carb set better, and it's not fully messed up. All right, I'm gonna try to measure volts on this setup. It's not charging, the battery's not charging the system, or alternator isn't. But I'm gonna call it good for tonight. I appreciate you guys following around, watching me jerry rig this son of a gun to make it work, and watching me take something that was a pile of pieces and make it into a running little motor that actually is not horrible. It needs tuning, but it starts really easy, and it's electric start, and it's probably a 5 horsepower motor easy. So I enjoy it. Thanks for following this little series. I will hopefully be having some more. Put a little snippet of what I'm potentially going to be coming across here in a bit. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and watch these videos, and just leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because I am trying to make it a bigger channel and trying to make it grow, and I really like working with the community around me. So I might put in some videos of me helping some people in need out with their vehicles or with their small motors, just whatever people throw in my lap. I'm ranting now tonight. With that, I'm going to call it. Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all on the next video. Toodaloo!